Welcome back to Cooking with Jay. Today we will be making carrot cake, so let's get started. For the carrot cake, you're going to need flour, 2 cups, a cup and a half of sugar, 3 eggs, a cup of oil. You need to probably use canola oil or vegetable oil. I'm using vegetable oil. Then I have some salt, some baking soda, some cinnamon, vanilla, and then I have the star of the dish, some carrots, and then I'm going to put in some walnuts and raisins. I will go over what you need for the cream cheese frosting later, but this is what we're going to start with right now. I'm going to start with my dry ingredients. So to my 2 cups of flour, I'm going to add a half of a teaspoon of salt. I'm using table salt because it's finer than my normal salt that I use, kosher salt, so I am using table salt. And then I'm going to have a teaspoon of baking soda. And then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And then I am going to add, I forgot to tell you the ingredient, I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of nutmeg. And with this, we are going to whisk all the dry ingredients together. So in this bowl, I have my cup and a half of sugar, my 3 eggs, and then my cup of vegetable oil. So I am going to go ahead and blend this up. So I'm going to go ahead and blend my sugar, my eggs, and the oil together. And now, since my eggs, butter, and my oil are mixed together, I am going to go ahead and add my dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. And then I am also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to this. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this together. And when you're blending, you want to make sure you scrape the outside edges for any loose flour. You want to make sure that all the wet and dry ingredients are combined well. So just scrape down the edges and then blend it together some more. And now since these are blended together, I'm going to go ahead and clean my beaters, and I will be right back to add my carrots and walnuts and raisins to this. So I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots. This is 3 cups of shredded carrots. I use my food processor to shred the carrots. And then I'm going to add my cup of walnuts. And then my cup of raisins. And I'm going to go ahead and stir this in together. And you want all the ingredients to be well combined. Now that my carrots, raisin, and walnuts are mixed in with the cake mix, I am going to go ahead and add this to my pan. So I have a 9 by 13 pan. I went ahead and buttered the pan with like a paper towel, put butter around it, and then I basically floured the surface and put flour. So basically I'm trying to make sure that my cake doesn't stick to the pan. Then now I'm going to go ahead and add my cake, my carrot cake mix to this pan. So I went ahead and dumped off video the rest of the cake mix in it. Now I'm going to spread out the carrot cake in the pan. And I went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Now that I have my carrot cake spread out in the pan evenly, I'm going to add this to the oven and cook for 40 to 45 minutes. And then I will, right after I take this out of the oven, I will show you how to make the cream cheese frosting. So I will be back. So I'm back. We're going to go ahead and make the frosting. So I'm going to use 1 package of cream cheese, basically 8 ounces. Half of a stick of butter, so we're only going to use half of this. I'm going to use some almond milk. You can use regular milk. Then we have some powdered sugar and some vanilla. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and add the cream cheese to my mixing bowl. I normally scrape some of the extra cream cheese off. Then I'm going to go ahead and add half of a stick of butter. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then also 2 to 3 teaspoons. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 teaspoons of almond milk. I'm going to go ahead and blend my cream cheese, butter, and the milk together. And I forgot to tell you, the cream cheese and the butter are softened to make it easier to mix. Now that this is mixed together, I'm going to add a quarter of basically this is 4 cups of powdered sugar, so I'm going to add a cup at a time to the cream cheese mixture. I'm going to go ahead and add the last cup of the powdered sugar. I'm going to go ahead and blend this in. I'm going to take my spatula. There is some excess powdered sugar on the edge. I'm basically going to scrape this down to make sure that the cream cheese and the powdered sugar is well combined. So then I'm going to blend it all together one final time. If you turn it on a higher speed, it whips it a little bit more creamier. And a little bit lighter. So this is done. I'm going to go ahead and clean my beaters and be right back. Now that the cake has cooled for an hour, I'm going to go ahead and add my cream cheese frosting to the top of the cake. So I'm going to go ahead and spread the cream cheese frosting on the cake. It's looking pretty good. Just make sure you spread it even. And now what I'm going to do to finish this cake off is I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon on top. I'm going to go ahead and add some nutmeg to the top too. And if it's not pretty enough, I'm going to go ahead and add some walnuts to the top. You can omit the walnuts if you want. If somebody has a nut allergy, you can omit it. That is fine. And there you go, have it. Carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. You need to make sure that when you make this, that you put this in the refrigerator because it has the cream cheese and you don't want that to sit out at room temperature for too long. Here's the finished product. As you can tell, the ratio between cream cheese and cake is about good, not too much and not too little. And you can see the nuts and the raisins in there. Please go ahead and try this recipe out and hope you join me again. Thank you.